Mohammad Azharuddin's lowest test score at Eden Gardens is 52.
Lovely shot. Delightful.
A classic example of the artistry of Azharuddin. Beautiful timing as he just pushed that one through the gap. He really is an artist when he's going.
Not just for batting, but it's a very good pitch to bowl on. And Azharuddin straight away off the mark. Third ball of the first over of the third day. Lovely straight drive.
The mid-on is wide, and that's because Azharuddin is so strong through the mid-wicket area. But I think you've got to make him hit across the ball, particularly early in his innings. I think you've got to put mid-on fairly straight, and maybe you have to put mid-wicket straighter as well. It's found the gap this time. Shane Warne's 100 comes up. They say you're not a batsman until you make a duck. Maybe you're not a bowler until you get none for 100.
It's given Azhar enough time. It's short. It's turned away just a little bit. And Azhar has found the gap to perfection.
But I think this man came very, very close to getting Azharuddin LBW.
Look at the justice of it all. Azharuddin has just smashed him behind point for 4.
Michael Catchbridge has bowled beautifully this morning. No reward, and Azharuddin so strong off his pads and so strong in that particular shot. It's not a cut shot as we know. It's up and about, and it's nearly a bat straight. In fact, it's probably 45 degrees on contact. It's not a flat bat shot that normally a cut shot is played with, nor is it a back foot drive. It's a very, very difficult shot to play, and he plays it exquisitely.
Further misfortune. Went off pad, I think that did. No, it's been given us 4 runs. Now Cashbridge just had a word.
Michael Cashbridge agrees with you, Harsha. He thought it was leg byes, and he's saying, hey, I don't mind the team having to cost themselves 4 runs, but get them off my column, will you? And we'll see if Michael Cashbridge has any cause for having a chat to the umpire.
Here's the Royal Bengal Tigers in. Does scoring a century require a slightly different mindset?
I really had to reach for that one. It was in the air. Will probably go all the way. It does. But very, very similar to his dismissal in Bangalore, in Madras rather.
A little bit fortunate here, Azharuddin. It's only the placement that saved him from getting out. You see that, just leaning back on the ball a little bit, in the air for some 30 metres towards cover, and it even beat backward point. So in the air, looping towards cover, always away from the fieldsman, Paul Rifle, and knock the stumps down. So good positive attitude by the Australians.
Oh, that's sweetly timed.
Well, this shot here brings up the 60th boundary in the innings. Azharuddin just rocks back. Greg Blewett not quick enough to bowl that length. Just pushes it in front of point. You can see the quickness of the outfield. Chalks up the 60th boundary so far.
One who's made the pitch has got it absolutely right.
Half century to Azharuddin. He brings it up his 20th half century in Test match cricket with a classical on drive. It was a full toss, but he placed it to the boundary.
One more half century at the Eden to Mohammad Azharuddin, and the crowd responding to their hero.
So Cashbridge resuming to the Indian captain. And you don't hit him any better than that. That is a stunning shot from Azharuddin. No sound when the ball hit the bat. Such was the timing and the willow that he has. Beautiful shot to square leg.
Yes, smooth as silk. Smooth as silk. As you said, there was absolutely no sound of the ball hitting the bat. Beautiful.
Still not too bad bowling 36 overs for 117 when you consider the score.
Can't stop that one. Very nicely played by Azharuddin. Timing again, not too much power.
Well, a beautiful shot there. Frustration for the bowler, Warne. Azharuddin using his feet, makes a full toss of it. Kasperwitz, the fielder at mid-off, a very good fielder, but he couldn't get across. Good dive. Beautiful shot there from Azharuddin. Just timing it to perfection. And yet another boundary for the Indians.
That's an invitation. The ball had "hit me" written all over it.
Well, joy for the Indians. Azharuddin, 2 boundaries in a row. First one, very good shot. The next one, bad ball from Shane Warne, wide and full toss. And he just hit it straight through the gap on the extra cover. Bang.
Big crowd in Eden Gardens, over 80,000 yesterday. And I think that if Tendulkar had been in this morning, we may well have got the 95,000 or so. And Azharuddin goes to his favourite spot, over the boundary line and 6. He does like it perhaps a little bit squarer, but he stands with his feet anchored to the crease and just smashes the ball over the onside.
Well, this is a bit of an unusual 6. If you look at this, it's off the back foot. No, it's just rocked back when he hit it. Hardly any foot movement at all there. Bang, into the signs. 6 more runs, another boundary. And a bit more salt in the wound for the Australians.
And he goes again and doesn't get away with it. He got a bit anxious and a bit excited, and those eyes, those Hyderabad eyes, just lit up.
Yeah, Robinson tossing this one up a little bit higher, a little bit slower. Did him in flight, actually, hit the bottom corner of the bat. He's looking towards that mid-wicket boundary.
Mohammad Azharuddin, 5 shy of his 20th Test century. Can he bring it up with a 6? That's where it'll go. And will it go over the top? Will it go for 6? The umpire stands. He waits. 100. The genuine applause of Mark Waugh. 100 to the Indian captain. Brought up in the area of the telestrator.
Well, the crowd go berserk. Azharuddin, the first man to get 100 in this match. Unbelievable stats. And unbelievable stats for him on this ground. 101 off 181 balls. 12 fours, 2 sixes, and the 6 brought up his 100. And it's taken 1.5 days for the Indians, although they've scored 500 odd runs, to finally get a man to get the century.
And he's got a long chase for Kasperwitz. I don't think he'll get there. The ball is racing across this field, as distinct from Kasperwitz. 10 runs off 2 balls. So Greg Blewett back into the attack from the clubhouse end. And another boundary. A great cut shot past the Indian call rifle at gully. There's a man at point on the fence. There's a man at third man, and he has spliced the 2.
Yes, it just rocks back. A bit up actually there, actually past Paul Rifle, wide of him. It split the difference of the 2 men in the outfield. Yet another boundary.
Well, the Australian fielding really has not been up to the mark. Yes. It's been long hours in the field, but normally the Australian fielding has been top class. In this match, it's been disappointing, to say the least. Maybe the fact that Greg Blewett's been bowling at the other end has taken toll of his energy, not quite able to get down in time.
You'd imagine you'd hope it'd last a bit longer than the first innings from an Australian point of view.
And he's played the cross-court forehand. And the Indian Tennis Open starting next week or week after next in Chennai. I think that forehand would get him a game.
Yes, that was just forehand down the line. Fielder there, Gavin Robinson. Very inglorious dive in the end. We might be able to see it from this end. Does a headstand virtually. He just was never going to get there. Rolls over, somersault. The ball continues on its merry way over the rope.
And consecutive boundaries again to Azharuddin. He does have a touch of stand and deliver about him when he's going and when he's in full flight.
Well, why wouldn't you, David? This delivery is from Michael Kaspowitz. Admittedly, it's late in the day. He's fairly tired, but he's just hitting through the line. Actually, he's dragged that one from way outside off, over mid-on. No chance for the fielder there. Hit it pretty well.
And that's a lovely shot. Going across the practice pitches, make that 79 boundaries. 79 boundaries and 5 sixes.
Well, Azharuddin picking a gap beautifully on this, just using the pace off the ball. Beats the close-in man behind square. 599, just the single needed for the 600.
And Azharuddin stands, delivers, and another 6. 6 sixes and 81 boundaries. And they just keep piling and piling and piling.
Well, there was only a single needed to bring up the 600, but Azharuddin decides, well, 600 would go pretty well with the 6. Mark Taylor using every inch of the ground to try and get it. He won't give in no matter what, but just too good for him.
Would have been right if Mark Waugh was 7'12". 150 for the Indian captain.
Well, David, whenever he gets in the 90s or gets close to like the century and a half, he doesn't muck around getting him in singles. He plays and get him quick. And the crowd very appreciative. A great innings here from Azharuddin.